I feel very sorry for young men in the world because I feel like they are genuinely being indoctrinated by some of the worst people possible. Misogynistic, genuinely stupid people because they're successful, because they are popular, because they've got money. And unfortunately, if you speak up about this stuff, you are woke. You are a cuck. You are a loser. You are jealous. And even earlier today, I dunked on Asmongold for his post. There was a post he said, too many fake jobs were invented to create artificial parity between men and women in the workforce. So he's automatically arguing men and women are not equal. We essentially just made up jobs so that the women could play along and feel better. And then says AI fixes this problem because it disproportionately is affecting women-led jobs and industry type things, saying that women are replaceable. And then he says, hopefully, after all this is over, women can go back to what they do best, being a mother or being a prostitute, insinuating that that is all women are good for, being a mother or a prostitute. Now, my wife is an incredible mother. She is amazing with my children, and I'm so blessed that she is the mother of my children. But she's also insanely smart, works in a pharmacy, and has so many talents that to call her just a mother is a joke. And to get this type of comment from Asmongold is embarrassing, and to accept that as the truth is embarrassing. And not enough people will talk about this. But I talked about this. I dunked on him a little bit. I said, it is crazy how much reach this mentally ill gamer has. I said that it is crazy because if you point out how much of a loser this guy is, you are called jealous. I am called jealous. People are dunking on me because I roasted this guy. The guy lives alone in filth with rotting teeth, cockroaches, and despite being this multi-generational wealth millionaire, this guy's probably worth 50 mil. I don't even know how much he's worth. It may be even 100 mil. He lives in such a disgusting hoarder-like environment, or has for so long, that it's hard not to question his sanity. And when you bring this up, it's like, well, you wish you had millions of dollars. Brothers, I wish that he didn't let the teeth rot from his mouth to the point that he would need surgery or to get his teeth fixed. I wish he didn't have cockroaches and rats infesting his house. And yes, he might have cleaned it, but to get to the state that he was in, he has to be so mentally ill. I feel sorry for the guy. I am not jealous of Asmongold. I hope that he can get help. If that makes sense, I think you have a brain. If it doesn't make sense, then I think we're going to be lost no matter what. But the amount of comments in here that are either defending the guy or calling me a loser, it's frightening because I know that these are the people that I'm worried about. These are the people that I know have been affected by this. And I want to segue away from Asmongold because, yes, he's successful. He has a lot of money, and that is appealing to young men. But there's another one that I want to talk about, Clavicular. Now, Clavicular is a guy that is blowing up everywhere. Clavicular is just everywhere right now. And I know that young men in junior high and high school, some of the content that they see from this guy is appealing. It's hard not to look at, a picture of this guy's place and be like, whoa, I want that. And to look at his jawline or a video of him kissing women and being like, yeah, I want that as well. But you have to understand what you are actually looking at here. Should you take life advice? Should you take looks maxing advice from someone that is so unconfident in their own skin that they would take a hammer to their own face? I just want you to listen to what he says here.
When you wake up every single morning and you take a look in the mirror, you're 100% satisfied with every single thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, more or less.
This guy's brain is short-circuiting because he can't understand that Andrew is okay in his own skin. He doesn't care if he's the best-looking guy, the tallest guy, the strongest guy. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. And if he wants to change some things about himself, if he wants to go to the gym more or some of these things, he can. And he cannot. It's up to him what he wants to do. But at the end of the day, Andrew obviously does not care what he looks like. and is confident in the person that he is. And this clavicular guy cannot accept that. He can't understand that. And young men are getting looks maxing advice. They're being told to smash their face in with a hammer from someone that was kicked out of school, has admitted to doing methamphetamine in all descriptions, in all dictionary breakdowns of what a loser is. Clavicular is a loser. I would never want this to be an idol of any person in my life. If my son told me that he idolized or thought Clavicular was a smart person, a good person, was helping people, I would be very worried. I would be very concerned. But if I say that, I will get attacked by this guy's audience. And it's a weird contrast. It's a weird situation to be in, because if I warn you about the dangers of people like Andrew Tate, of Clavicular, of Asmongold, of these things, I am viewed as weak. I am viewed as woke or a loser, or I am a sheep. And it's frustrating when someone like myself wants to extend the olive branch and I want to try to at least open your eyes to it. I am viewed as the problem. It's not the guy that lives in a roach-infested house. It is not the guy that took a hammer to his own face. It is not the guy that has to pay women to spend time with him in his mansion because he's such an insufferable douchebag. It's me that's the problem. The tough thing is, even though I'm an arguably successful dude, I've got a wife, I've got kids, I've got beautiful relationships with my family and friends. I've retired at 33 years old. I succeeded online and offline. I take care of myself pretty good. I'm not the most jacked guy out there, but there's a lot of things that I think would be role model worthy for young men to look at. I was a father at 17 years old. I was scared out of my mind being a high school student who was about to have a baby and become a father, and I buckled down, I worked my ass off, and I took care of that boy. I am proud of the man that I am, but if I call out these degenerates, I am viewed as weak. I am viewed as less than, because I might not have as many views online, and maybe my jawline isn't quite as sharp. And the unfortunate thing is, when you argue with someone online, or when you tell someone that they're wrong, in a lot of cases, they dig in their heels and they double down. They will dig in and be stubborn and fight it. And if I call these people out, it's a vicious circle. I probably won't sway anyone. Me talking about these things doesn't change anything, because a lot of the people are just going to say, I'm the sheep. I'm the sheep. I'm the woke one. And it's so frustrating. And kind of why I wanted to make this video is I am worried about young men, not because they've been influenced by these people initially. It's because I don't know how to uninfluence them. I don't know how to get them to take the olive branch and actually accept the help. When videos like this get made, a lot of bad faith arguments start happening. When I make this video, people start saying, well, a lot of these guys are just championing to be more healthy, to be stronger, to go to the gym. What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You should go to the gym. It's great for your stamina. It's great for your mental health. It might make you feel more confident. You're going to be strong. And in some cases, you might be able to work a job that you otherwise couldn't. Whether it's construction or something like that, maybe you need an initial bit of strength to make it in this world. I am not arguing against that. But you also don't need to hate women while doing it. You don't need to be misogynistic while doing it. You might want to look better. That's fine. Get a haircut, shave, or don't shave. You know, do things that make you feel confident, good about yourself. But if you then ask a woman out and she declines you, don't hate the woman and become this incel. And that's the problem, is a lot of these content creators, they give you one piece of good advice and then there's a little bit of an incel comment. Here's a misogynistic comment. I'm just going to sprinkle that in as well. And that's where it gets lost. And that's where people kind of glaze over it and they don't realize that the stuff that they're getting fed is damaging them and it is damaging their kind of prospects in their future. When you see someone that's successful, it's hard not to idolize them in some way or question, well, if I'm not that successful and this guy is, he must be doing something right. And they are doing many things right, I'm sure. You don't get to that point if you're not successful. But a lot of the most successful people out there are the most narcissistic and psychopathic and bad people. Most billionaires exploit people. You can't make $1 billion without exploiting people. It's impossible not to. Okay? And I think that the whole world is in this weird place where it's just fighting. It is just, instead of me making this video and someone saying, you know what, maybe, thanks for like kind of opening my eyes to this. Thanks for maybe shedding some light on this thing that you're worried about. I am instantly viewed as a villain or this, I have this like agenda. The first comment that I had when I tweeted this about this, the first comment I had was about my political stance. The first comment that I got was what my beliefs were. And instead of talking about the problem, and instead of talking about my worry for young men and the influences that are out there, people are trying to suss out what my agenda is and what I gain from questioning bad behavior, from questioning derogatory statements, misogynistic statements, racist statements. And I always question this, and this is the last thing I'll say. When some of these guys open their mouth and they openly say something so rude, so misogynistic, so sexist, so homophobic, so many things, they say these things that are just genuinely, in some cases, hateful and hurtful. People respond saying they're speaking the truth. They're speaking facts. They say, you're standing and said that with your full chest. It's kind of this weird respect for it. But if I say those guys are losers, those guys are a problem, it's not facts. It's not the truth. I'm just a jealous hater. It's such an interesting thing, and it's very scary. And I don't know how to change it. If you do, let me know, because I think that young men are cooked, and it's for reasons that if you tell them and you say it to their face, they're not going to listen. Thanks for watching, and sorry for this one. It's a little depressing. Bye-bye.